Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. That's not real. It's a toy. Anyway, if you didn't watch the last video, basically, or one of the last videos, sorry, I don't know how I've uploaded this. This is the MP5 SD6 NGRS that I have. Second one I've got one in the UK, which I was using, and I really, really love this thing. So I bought another one so that I could use it in the US. However, because I've left that one there, I don't actually have a setup for optics on here for what I'm going to be doing for the flashlight and laser, which for me, for a CQB gun, is kind of necessary. A lot of the time I may shoot just off muscle memory. I won't necessarily look through the sights, but these iron sights on the MP5 I just don't really like. Now, unfortunately, I am waiting for the rail to arrive, which will be tomorrow or the next day, so that I can mount this. But I thought actually the optic, which I'm going to be using, as well as the riser for it, has arrived. So I'm going to do an unboxing of that, do a quick review of it so that you guys can see if this is something, you know, if you're looking to put it on an MP5, you'll be able to see potentially what it looks like. If you're looking at putting it on any other replica, you know, it might be a good option. But this is from a company that actually I didn't really look at seriously until they actually sent me one of their micro red dots for free. That was for my pistol. I'm trying to think which one I put it on. I think I may have put it on, not this guy. Not this guy. Where did I put it? I put it on my, not Viridian. I'm trying to think now which like actual, no, not on that. Trying to think which replica I put it on, but the company is Cyelee, C-Y-E-L-E-E, and the actual optic on it is so good. Like, it's amazing, and for the price I was like, okay, this is really, really good. So when I was looking at getting a optic for this, it's quite an individual looking replica, or it's quite an iconic looking replica. So I was like, okay, I kind of want something a bit more classic style, but I don't necessarily want to spend a ton of money. And Cyelee do this optic, which is called their T10. So it's a red dot sight, and it's very much like a T2 style, that kind of like long tube, or, you know, slightly short tube, but it's only $75. Now this on Amazon, and there'll be a link down below, it's got a 4.6 rating, and it's like 828 reviews, so almost 900 reviews, and it's got a 4.6 rating. It is going to have Cyelee written on the side of it, so it's very obvious it's not like a T2 red dot, but I actually think this style looks very, very good on an MP5, or we're going to kind of have an idea of what it is. So I'm going to unbox this for you guys. I also have a mount in this box, which unfortunately I'm waiting for the Picatinny mount, claw mount, to go on here, so I'm not going to be able to attach it. That will be a future video where you see me do the build out on this, so subscribe, like, etc. if you want to see that. But I have a mount that I'm going to see if this footprint goes on here. This does come with a riser there, but I need something which is going to get the optic over the top of these iron sights. These aren't removable, they are on there, so I need something that's higher. I also like having pretty high risers on my replicas, so I'm hoping that this guy here is going to look cool and is also going to make it higher. So it's great packaging. This is a solid box. Inside I have an instruction manual. We have a sticker from Cyelee. Can't really see it there. I have a patch from Cyelee as well. That's pretty cool. And then the actual optic, as well as two different mounts, it looks like. There is a low mount and there is a high mount, which I would use the high mount. And actually, it's a pretty good mount, to be honest. I quite like the design of it. It's got access through the bottom there for the screws if you're wanting to open it up. That might be easier to see there, or take it off, sorry, which we're going to be doing. I don't know for sure that this is going to fit, is one thing to mention. Then you've actually got a battery to go in there, and then you have a Torx screw or Torx wrench that you can kind of put it on. So this is the actual optic. Let's see if it has a battery in it. I can't imagine it would. Okay, oh, so it's got buttons on the top. Oh, it does have a battery in it, does it? No, it doesn't. No. Okay, so we're going to open this up on the side. we're going to put this actual battery in here. So as I said, $75 for this is, you know, $75 isn't a small amount of money, but for a red dot sight, it's pretty affordable. You know, that's not an expensive sight. What is kind of annoying is they have got this on the actual battery cover, but it is making me double think, have I got this the right way? It's saying like attention plus side on the up. Is that what it's saying? Let's just see if it has in the instructions. I don't want to like put this in the wrong way. That's how I would normally put it in. Unscrew the battery cap, install the battery in the battery tray, plus side up. Yeah, plus side up. Okay, good. That's what I do. Yeah, it's like with these CR2032 batteries, they literally are like a little tray and you normally just drop them in. So I was expecting that was the way, but as soon as I saw that on the side, I was like, okay, hold on a second. Am I doing this right? It's kind of annoying that they've painted that on the outside and not had it as like a sticker, because it would have been good just to peel that off. Like I don't need that attention battery thing on the side. Cyelee is, the logo is good and clean. It's not like a bad one, but it's obviously not a like very, very well-known, you know, expensive real steel firearm optic manufacturer. These are, I think, meant for real steel, and apparently they'll hold zero and they work well. So I think they might get up to that level, but they do make some more budget products. And so it's not like buying a cheap repro, which has the right actual like logo on it, but actually probably doesn't perform very well. This is almost the opposite. You're paying not a huge amount of money to probably get quite a good performing optic, which doesn't have like that kind of famous logo on there. So what I'm going to do now is just turn this on. That's probably the best thing to start. It's got a plus and a minus. If I hold it down, okay, if I hold it down, it comes on, and then it's got a very, very bright, clear red dot. Now, the only thing I'm going to say straight away is it does seem, I'll see if you can see it on here, the red dot's there. There is some kind of like red coloring around the edges of the lens. So you see there, as I move it and I flash it around, like the edge of the lens almost has got a little bit of glare on it. It's not like it gets in the way of the red dot. And the red dot all the way to the ends is very clear. You're not getting warping, but you are getting some kind of like almost reflection on that edging there, which is definitely different from having like a, you know, a $300 optic. I don't think it's going to be an issue at all, as in it doesn't stop you or like confuse you as to where it's going to, where the actual red dot is. But that's the, get this for you there. There it is. You see that kind of like red rim that's kind of going there. I think for most people, especially for Airsoft, it's not going to be an issue at all. But that is just something that I would say. Okay, so it says press and hold either the plus or the minus button longer than 1 second to turn the sight on. To turn the sight off, press and hold either the plus or minus button longer than 1 second, and the LED should turn off. So it's just hold down to turn off. The sight is shake awake, so you get the MDS feature there. So that I think is great. Shake awake won't work when the optic is off. That's kind of obvious there. The mounting, I think it only has a red dot. It doesn't have multiple reticles. Yeah, so it's just a 2 MOA red dot. But I think that is going to look pretty clean on the top of the MP5. Now, the mounting on it is Picatinny mount. The other mount is a Picatinny just with, you know, a low profile. Like it's just going to mount straight on top of there. What I'm going to do is actually have a look at this riser. So the riser that I bought, again, is very well reviewed and is pretty cheap. So not a famous brand, but it does look famous. It's called the Phoking, Phoking, red dot riser mount. This has got 4.4 stars, 252 ratings. It's for a T1, T2 optic sight footprint, and it is $32. You can get it in black, green, or in like an FDE bronze color. I'll put those up so you guys can see those in the actual, so you can click on the link down below and go and get one if you want to. I got it in black because I just wanted it to kind of like tie in with That on this one, the packaging isn't great, to be honest. It's just a white paper box, cardboard box. But this is the design, which I think is pretty cool. Now, what I thought would be cool, and we'll see, one is you actually do have like a built-in iron sights. So you can see there in this like second tier, there, pointing at my eye right now, there's actually an adjustable like iron sight with a front post and then a rear circle, but it also has this gap underneath. And what my hope was is potentially you are going to be able to see through there and actually use the iron sights of the MP5 if for whatever reason your optic dies. Now I could just go, well, I couldn't actually because that doesn't have the mounting ability, but that would be a pretty crazy sized optic there. I'm hoping that this is going to attach in here and we're going to be all good. I just don't know actually how you... I think I'm going to have to stick this hex key through the entire way to get to the bolts that are going, the screws that are going to go underneath. So I'm going to use the Torx key that we got with the Cyelee. We'll put this guy in here and we're going to undo it. So we're going to take basically the Cyelee off this optic mount. I mean, I think it would work on this one. I just kind of like the height more. It's like double the height to have it on that one instead, which I like. And then I also like the design of it. I think it just looks very, very cool. So that's the plan. Sorry for the noise in the background. That's my kids who are home from school today. Today's actually Veterans Day, so thank you to all the veterans. But it means that there is no school for my kids. So Nanny's looking after them at the moment as I'm making these videos. But I had them all day yesterday because it was like parent-teacher conference day, which is funny because you're just on a Zoom call and obviously they need the time to talk to the parents. But it's kind of like, right, I'm now talking to you and my kids are running around my house making a noise in the background as I'm talking to the teacher about your behavior. But both of my boys are apparently very well behaved, so I was very proud of them. It's quite a nice feeling if you're a parent out there. Sorry if this is just me waffling on, but it is quite a nice feeling when, you know, someone tells you that your kid's very nice to other kids, etc. It definitely feels pretty good. Okay, so that is going to be that way. And it does fit. So as you can see here, there's a gap which is kind of going in that zone. And then you actually just have this underneath where that is going to fit straight in there. I'm going to have it the right way. Obviously, I know which way is the right way. You know, that does have an angle, but the front sight post is there and the rear little circle is there. So that's how you know that it's going to be actually facing properly forward. Oh, sorry, I actually had it the wrong way. So good thing I double checked that. But I think that's going to be pretty cool. We'll see. It's going to be very high up though, just looking at it now. People might just be a bit like, wow, you've really got that thing up there. Let's have a little look on there. Actually, that might be too high. Yeah, that might be too high. If I go back to this guy, I think that's going to be better, isn't it? It's going to like depend on how high that rail comes up. Because I think that does look, if I just show you this properly, I think that does look cool like that. I think this one is going to be too big. Like if we're sitting there, I think that's going to be too big. It's a very high riser. I'm going to put this on just in case so that we can kind of see what it looks like. But yeah, just to mention that, like it's definitely not a little thin. It's not a little thin. Sorry, it's pretty thin. It's not it's not a small riser. This is like very, very large. Okay, so I'm actually gonna have to take these pins out first. Before I put it on. I'm just trying to think now if there's like another replica that actually would work well with this one. Anything where your head is like having to be pretty low down. I think would be ideal. Like this for me is ideal for that. Wow, this is like, you really are having it right on the edge there. Look at that. I'm like basically now scraping that piece along here. You definitely need almost a longer hex screw. Hex. Does this fit in there? It's too big, huh? Yeah, that's too big. Yeah, you need a pretty long hex screw to get this in. I do have some bigger ones lying around, but I might have an issue tightening this to the full, because you can see here, it basically now is catching on the top of the rail, and that's stopping it from going down. So you can do half turns, and there is no way to kind of go in the side way and do it like that. So at the moment I can get it almost tight, but I do think like just already just the quality of it, it's metal, I believe, even though it's not very cold. For $75, you're getting like a T1, T2 style sight for a fraction of the cost. And for Airsoft, maybe not for real steel. If you're watching this and you're like, should I buy it for real steel? I don't know how this is going to perform with recoil. I'm putting it on not even a gas blowback. I'm putting it on an NGRS. And the NGRS has recoil, but it doesn't have the recoil of a gas blowback. And so I'm not expecting this is going to be any issue jumping around. I do think I'm probably going to go back to the other riser though. You'll have to wait and see on the build out video when I do the build out for this MP5. As soon as that rail arrives, you'll be able to see whether I put the higher or the lower mount on there. But I think again for the mount, what is annoying is just like how close this is and how I'm having to like half turn to get it tightened, but it is a good quality mount, it feels like, for that $30. Again, real steel, I'm not sure. Is it going to hold the sight tight enough onto the rail? I don't know. Okay, so that's tight, that's tight. Getting this off is going to be a nightmare as well. Okay, I've apparently just been filming nothing. Okay, guys, for some reason that camera disconnected, so I'm really sorry about how that happened. I'm going to have to now watch back the footage and see if you guys have just been watching me do nothing for a while. So if it has been black for a bit, just saying Elgato on the screen, apologies for that, because I wasn't looking up at the camera screen. So this is what now that looks like. And I actually think that looks pretty cool, even though that is a very, very high riser. It says it is a, what are we looking at? 2.26 inch. And I thought that would be good to try and get over this, but I think it is going to be too much. Let's just also have a look with the grip extended out. I mean, it's not going to be crazy. I mean, it is kind of crazy. I don't know, guys. Let me know. Is that too high or is that perfect? That's what I want to know. Or would you go with the other one? Okay, guys, so thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about this one, it's a very, very simple optic, so I don't think there's much other than just that kind of glare. The build quality seems really good. Everything else seems good. Comes with the battery, comes with different mounts, which I really like. And for $75, I think if you're looking for like a T1, T2 style sight, it's going to work really well. Thank you so much for watching. As I said, any questions, let me know. I'll see you all very soon.